Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Ramp on the draw for game one. Though you'll notice that this is Ice Till Explorer Eldrazi Ramp. And I'm glad I'm running 9 basics because look at what we're playing against. It's a land destruction deck against a land destruction deck. But what are they going to do? I play 9 basics. Okay, this is going to get interesting really quickly, I think. Let's grab the talisman or grab the forest. I think I want to grab the talisman here. All right. Yep, you're on land destruction. That's cool. I have basics for days. We'll pass. And also Ice Till on top of it? Okay. Yeah. This is fine. Draw. Rumble. I think I just go Myco Spawn here. I'm tempted to go Myco Spawn into Ghost Quarter and start Ghost Quartering them. Just for the memes. Honestly, absolutely just for the memes. I'm really tempted to do so. Yeah, let's just send it. Myco Spawn. Always yield. Go Ghost Quarter. Who's the land destruction now, friend? No reason for me to pop this. I guess I could pop their Field of Ruin, funny enough. I guess I could pop their Field of Ruin on end step. Yeah, that way they can't Field of Ruin my temple. Okay. That's an idea. They have Ghost Quarter. Honestly, that's fine. Do it. Do it up. You don't understand. I have 9 basics. Yeah? I have more. I think I have more than you. End step? Ghost Quarter your field? Yeah, you got a plains. Alright. Sprawl. We'll go Sprawl. It's mana neutral. Go green. Ice Till. Opponent's starting to realize, I think. No shot. No way. Okay, that is probably... They scooped out of the match. They scooped out of the match. Okay. Was not expecting that. We out land destruction with Eldrazi. Alright. 9 basics, let's go. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. This hand does nothing. Mulligan. This hand... Ooh, okay. So this is one of the bits of spice that I am running on this list, is I'm running Field of Ruin. I do need a green source, but the Field of Ruin gets me that. It almost acts as our 4 fetches that we normally run. I will keep Pitch the Bog done. I will reveal a Devourer. The hand is functional. We just need to make it better. Trigger. There is Myco Spawn. Yes, we can make that work. So we'll go Myco Spawn. And Lab. Imprint. Pass. And hold on the off chance that's relevant. Shadowy Backstreet Surveil. So it looks like Blink. So we'll start stripping lands next turn. I did play against Blink in my testing league, and I did strip out all of their lands, which was very funny. So we'll go Field of Ruin. They surveilled Grave. Any reason we don't want, or that we can't wait until draw? No. So we'll go to draw. Opponent's probably really confused, seeing Field of Ruin. Draw. Field of Ruin. I guess maybe we should have... They could play Felia here, but then that opens them up to removal, I suppose. So probably not. I think Felia is always right to play on my end step. So next turn we can go Mycospawn into Temple for Devourer on turn 4. That's an option, otherwise we can just Rumble. But I think we'll go Devourer, go for the Devour line, yeah. Alright, draw. Another Temple. Well, now that makes me think otherwise. So in that case, we'll go Temple. Let's Rumble. Let's actually do this. They shouldn't be playing White Orchid main, but they could be playing Flicker Wisp. Yeah. They also probably have the Felia, so let's go Rumble. Does mean that this will probably... Jesus. Would have liked that K command. Well, I have all the lands in the world right now, I'll tell you what. So now we have the option to kick Mycospawn or Devour next turn if needed. So I imagine they fetch. I imagine they will play Felia. Haven't seen Ice Till yet. Opponent's still probably a little bit confused by the earlier Field of Ruin. Yep, there's the Felia as expected. We'll hold. They'll likely just blink to spawn unless they have an Overlord. They only know of one Devourer, so not knowing about the second one is beneficial to me. Felia attacks, blinks. We'll sack in response just because it is the right thing to do. And passing 18, so they don't have an Overlord. Interesting. So do we kick Mycospawn? Getting rid of Felia is relatively important here. They could have Efem though, which is the concerning part. So we go Mycospawn. I mean, I think we will go Mycospawn. Let's see if we can just slow him down enough. Eat the Godless Shrine. I mean, we have all the mana we need right now. We have 7 on board. And then if you include 7, 4, plus 2, 13, we can cast everything in our deck. So we can go one of two routes here. We can either A, go Ghost Quarter, or B, go Sanctum. Sanctum allows us to go for Devourer, but I think we'll just go for Ghost Quarter here. And then they'll fetch. If they Surveil, they then either have the choice to fail to find or to find a land. Interesting, it's still fetch. Okay. You still Surveil. You shouldn't. It should be Godless Shrine, tapped, shock. Okay. 14, what are you doing? Fatal Push? Fatal Push resolves. Again, playing around anything at instant speed. I don't think so, so we'll draw. Ghost Quarter, target Godless Shrine. Pass. They use the ability. Double white. No black yet. Next turn we can Devour. There's a Swamp. That might be all their basics. So any future Ghost Quarters should just clear them out of basics. Felia, no blink. Or no flicker rather. Down to 16. And end step. Draw. Ooh. Well, I think it's time. Actually, I kind of want to do it next turn, so that way we can guarantee we can go for 2 Ghost Quarters. At the same time, I want to get rid of their Swamp. Oh, this is tempting. What do I want to do here? Because we have to play the Forest, which means then we play the Ghost Quarters, then we eat their Swamp. And that should result in a fail to find. Yeah, let's go for the Ice Still. We came here to strip them of lands. Aven Interrupter. Was not expecting you. Yeah, you got it. I mean, that's fine. A plotted Ice Still. I'm okay with that. Guess it would have been better to Devour. So I'm thinking that we should Devour the... Oh, they're gonna eat my Ghost Quarter? Rude. I mean, I have a Field of Ruin here as well, I suppose. Alright. So, do we eat the Aven Interrupter, eat the Felia? Blink the Emperor Bones. I think I have to get rid of the Aven Interrupter, potentially. Malevolent Rumble. That's our only Ghost Quarters, the downside of this version with the Fields of Ruin. Might need to do a split on Field of Ruin to Ghost Quarter. They do have the mana available for... So I'm thinking we go... Rumble first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go Devourer, Rumble. Yeah, we can go Devour, Rumble, and Ice Still. Let's start with Devourer. Devour of Destiny eats Aven Interrupter. That way they can't try and blink back my Ice Still. Okay. And then I will Rumble. More Ice Till. I mean, I guess we'll just have an Ice Till army. Yeah, might as well. Ice Till. And pay without paying its mana cost. And then we'll go Field of Ruin. Mill. Crack Spawn and go after... Actually, have I already played both my lands? I have. Yeah, we'll go after Verge. Let's see if you fail to find. I think they only have 3 basics. I'm pretty sure. Yep, they fail to find. Perfect. Emrakul and Yard. So now we're looking for... Oh, that's bad, actually. So we should have went for the Emperor Bones. Yeah, that's actually incidentally really bad. Well then, that's awkward. Yeah, we'll just lose. Let's see if they see the line. I mean, if they do, that is unfortunate. The incidental mill fed the Emperor Bones and Emrakul. Oof. That's an oof. Alright, let's see if they see it. Just go to combat, Emperor Bones, pick up Emrakul, adapt, win. Yeah? 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 Yeah. Okay. Did not think about that. We'll concede. Okay, so the deck did what it wanted to do, but we did not think about the what if we mill over Emrakul. So I guess instead of the Aven Interrupter, maybe exiling the Emperor Bones just in case would have been correct. That may have not been a bad idea. So Bog out, Camera Souls out, Gemstone out, 3 Dismember in. I will run it back like this. Okay. Oh, it's so unfortunate. I feel like we had them in a really good position too. Like, I don't think they would have been able to get over 3 mana that entire game. Unfortunate indeed. Yeah, because my fear was we try and play the Devourer, they blink the whatchamacallit. They blink the Aven Interrupter, Devour gets put to exile, plotted. I guess that would have been the end of the world. I just really did not think about what if we mill over Emrakul with Ice Still, with a Bones on field. Did not come to mind. Alright, we're on the play for game 2. Field of Ruin, Dismember, land. We can make this work. It's a bit strange, but we can make it work. Let's start with a forest. Pass. Bit of a slower hand, admittedly. And hold. Windswept Teeth, fetch 19. Gala Shrine, shock for Thoughtseize. Yep, pass in full. I imagine you eat Dismember. Play the Field of Ruin next turn. And if we can draw into either Utopia Sprawl or a Talisman, that'd be ideal. 8 hits off the top. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they'll take the Dismember, because I know they want to play their Felia. Takes the Ice Tail, afraid of the Ghost Quarter loops. That's interesting. Draw. Dismember. Play the Field of Ruin. The good news is here, we can still go into Mycospawn turn 3 and go for another Temple so we can kick Mycospawn on 4. Solitude to Yard. Do you have another Thoughtseize? You do. Yep, we'll pass in full. They'll see double Dismember, double Mycospawn. Interesting. So, very redundant hand. They'll take a Mycospawn. I think it's still right, probably at this point, just the ramp. And set Thoughtseize Bug. Alright, always yield. We'll go E-Temp and pass. Alright, so now we have another Mycospawn. I'm doubting they have a third Thoughtseize. Of course, I could stand corrected. We'll hold. And Flood Strand, they have a Fatal Push. White, black, Emperor Bones. Emperor Bones eats what? Eats Ice Till. That's fine. It's rude, but fine. Draw. Forest. Kick a Mycospawn. Hold up Field of Ruin. And we'll kick you. We didn't see blue, so I'm not thinking consign here. I think this might be just straight Orzhov. So I'm thinking we go either another Temple or we go Ghost Quarter. Right now we have 7. If they do knock down Temple, though, we'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it might be best to either go for another Field of Ruin or a Ghost Quarter. We'll go Field of Ruin. We have double Dismember. They know about the Dismember too. Down to 10. Gala Shrine, shock to 8. Okay. White, black for adapt. In response, we'll Dismember. Emperor Bones down. And draw. Talisman. I will go to combat. Do you have Solitude? There's Solitude, pitching White Orchid. Funny. Evoke. Yep, that will resolve. Do you have a Ephem? You do not. Down to 5. Talisman of Impulse, cause 1, 2, crack. Then leaves 1, 2, crack, leaves up this member. Talisman. And hold. Fetch Fletchstrand down to 4. Do you surveil? You do. If you keep it on top, I'm going to field you and force you to shuffle it away. They should not have surveilled there. Alright, I think it's still fine for me to field here. So I'll field 1 now. There goes Godless Shrine. Forest. And pass. Don't want to give them 2, because then I'd give them Felia. Guess I could have done so after draw, actually. Probably should have. That way they don't have double black. I'm not sure what they would double black here for. Overlord of the Bailmerk. Yep. That's fine. There's Flicker Wisp. You can pick up another Solitude. You do need to draw into something here, though. If we don't draw into some action, then we're in a bit of a pickle. Picks up Solitude, as expected. Yep, makes sense to me. Land. Ooh, so they should be on their last basic in the deck. Allure Trigger. Field of Ruin. And they fail to find, which means they have, I think... Oh, the Swamps and Yard. Yeah, look at that. That's funny. Draw. Breaker. Let's go to combat first, in case they have solid... I guess they can't have Solitude Ephem. They can just have Solitude. So we'll go to combat first. Down to 1. And... World Breaker. I mean, I think if I just get rid of Shadowy Backstreet, they can't really do anything. Yeah. They can't fetch. They don't have a basic swamp. They can't shock. Yeah. I'm telling you, Field of Ruin seems a bit clunky, but it does put in a lot of work. When decks are only running 3 basics, at most, some being greedy enough to run 2, if not 1, yeah, Field of Ruin seems good, especially if they don't sequence their fetches right and go Surveil, and that allows us to go off on the draw. I mean, yeah, we can make this work. Do we want to... Let's see. We go... Gemstone... What do we want to feed to the Gemstone? The Forest? Yeah, we have enough basics to where I feel comfortable doing so, even to White Orchid. So, Gemstone, Forest, Forest, Sprawl. Sprawl and Forest into Talisman or Rumble? That's the question. We'll keep... Yeah, it'd be good to have the second colorless source. Punt Mulligan's down to 6. So Gemstone, feed a Forest, pass. Godless Shrine, shock for Thoughtseize. I mean, we can play everything in our hand. They should probably go for the Rumble. That means we'll go for... Yep. We'll go for... Utopia Sprawl into Talisman. Draw. Yep. Sprawl. Green. Talisman. And pass. So we have 4 mana on turn 1, 5 starting on turn 2. We just need to draw into some action. And white, black, Overlord. Overlord picks up Felliar or Witch Blast. Felliar would make the most sense. They don't know about my last talisman. Picks up the Witch Blast. They might be Landlight. That's good to know. Draw. Breaker. We'll play Talisman. We'll play Sanctum. So that means we have 2, 4, 6. 1 land gets us the Breaker on 3. We'll just hope we don't get seized. 5 in hand. You have your land drop in Witch Blast. Emperor Bones. Emperor Bones eats Fellia. So we should be able to cast everything but our 7 mana value spells. Eats Rumble. Interesting. I guess maybe they want it back. Witch Blast, tapped. Overlord, trigger, draw, land. Land, perfect. So, what we can do now is we can exile Overlord the Baelmerk. I'll say yes, the Sanctum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do we go another World Breaker? Do we go Devourer? We definitely don't go Emrakul. So we either go World Breaker, Devour, or Mycospawn. Mycospawn lets us ramp. We could exile, then go into Field of Ruin. It's a thought. That way we can double hit. Goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We find a land. Then we can crack the Field of Ruin the same turn. Devour will eat the Emperor Bones. I'm thinking we'll go Mycospawn. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way if they White Orchid Phantom the Temple, we can still cast it. And pass. Thoughtseize, that's fine. Not ideal, but fine. I guess if we had gone World Breaker, we could have, I know they would have eaten it anyways, yeah. 3 in hand, no attacks, obviously. We draw Ice Till. Actually, what I should do, I always need to make sure this is the right thing to do. We always attack first, otherwise they could always Solitude Ephem, and then we would be big sad. Down the 9. Cast Ice Till. Play Sanctum. Trigger Explorer. Mill. Play the Forest. Mill. Ghost Quarter. Ah! They're gonna eat my Ghost Quarter again. I mean, I got to ramp pretty significantly there, so I can't be too upset. And we got a Sanctum back, so we can re-trigger it off of a Devourer. But having that Ghost Quarter would have been nice. Would have been able to start looping next turn. Yep, eats the Ghost Quarter. Unfortunate. They definitely don't have a Solitude unless they drew into one. They're at 9 life right now. And if we find a Field of Ruin, we'll be able to pop off that way as well. Bring them down to nothing but basics. Which is relevant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Eldrazi mana. No attacks. Draw. Talisman, no reason to reveal that. So we'll just attack with Breaker. You find the Solitude. 2. Adapt. Okay, so you're gonna adapt, grab the Mycospawn, and then double block? Is that what the plan is? That looks to be the plan. Either that or just chump block the Myco. Okay, just chump block the Myco, that's fine. They're thinking about the double block. If they do, we'll eat the Emperor Bones, World Breaker will go to grave, and then we can pick it up, which will allow us to then go for Sanctum. But they choose not to. I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess actually it is worth it to play the Talisman. The reason they're being is if they do pop the Emperor Bones, not the Emperor Bones, the World Breaker somehow, we can then grab it back and play it on the same turn. 2, 3, Recruit of the Guard. Recruit of the Guard can grab Solitude, unfortunately. Yep, there's Solitude. 5 in hand. Do you eat the Emperor Bones or the Ice Tails? The question. Or not Emperor Bones, World Breaker. Why keep on calling World Breaker Emperor Bones? Emperor Bones. I imagine no targets at this point. Eats. Why do you eat your Thoughtseize? It's a may, not a must. Draw. Forest. Play the forest. Trigger. Mill. Field of Ruin. Trigger. There's Myco Spawn. Would have liked the Myco Spawn, admittedly. I will go to attacks. Attack with World Breaker. There's the Solitude pitching Aven Interrupter. Solitude eats World Breaker. And I will... I think we have to wait until after combat for the field. I think I've learned my lesson by accidentally milling a freaking Emrakul. Draw a card. So yeah, post-combat, we'll use field. Two, three. Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp on Emperor Bones. On Recruiter. Yes, so that way they can grab another Solitude, I imagine. Eats Myco Spawn. Attack with Emperor Bones, that is fine. We'll take 4 down to 21. End step, Flicker Wisp. I will field. Nope. I will go for your Black Source. Forest, trigger, World Breaker, pick up World Breaker. I need a color source. Right. All right, Recruiter ETBs. So now you have some choices to make. You grab another Solitude, you have 4 in hand. We draw. So I'm going to go Field of Ruin, trigger. I'm going to Field of Ruin you now. Eat the Witch Blessed. Grab a Forest. This is why I'm running 9 Forest, by the way. There is another Field of Ruin. There's no real... I guess we should play the Field of Ruin still. So Field of Ruin, trigger. And then... I guess we should... If we attack, they block, they block. We have the Solitude in hand still. We can get them off of black sources entirely, though it might be better to go for the white source. I think Ice Tail served its purpose for all intent and purpose here. I guess scrapping back Sanctum would be nice. Yeah. And done. Sanctum, trigger. I guess now I can. I should have actually probably brought the Sanctum back rather than the field, admittedly. So in that case, let's go for the Swamp. That should be the last Swamp in their deck. Definitely still a bit of a learning curve I'm having here. White, black, Felia. There's Felia. Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll go with Emrakul. And hold. Yeah, they already ate the Ghost Quarter. Like I said, I probably should have, instead of a field, should have brought back the Sanctum earlier. That way, could have just looped Sanctum, ideally. Some little growing pains with Ice Tail, I'd say. Emperor Bones, eat Sanctum. That would be the right choice, lest we loop it. Yep. Bit of a misplay on my part, like I said. Go to combat. Felia attacks Flicker Recruiter. Yep, that makes sense. Go to blocks, we'll block. So Felia's down. End step, trigger, always yield, recruiter, up. And grabs another Solitude. They should have 2 more in their deck, I'm pretty sure. Witch Blessed. Interesting. Okay. Draw. So in that case, how do you want to proceed? Guess I should... Actually, let's do this first, yeah. I will play Temple, trigger. We'll play Field of Ruin, trigger. K command, that we can add some more types to yard. And perfect. Alright, we now have Solitude, we now have Witch Enchanter. There's Solitude, pitching Witch Enchanter. Do you have Ephem? Eats the Emrakul. No Ephem. I don't need to attack with World Breaker. Yeah. Alright. Our turn, comrade. Hashiek Thoughtseize Emperor Bones. White Orchid. Ooh, look at that, White Orchid. Do we care about White Orchid? Not really. Let's go to combat. Trigger, we'll eat the Solitude. And then go to combat, attack, attack. And go to blocks. Let me do this real quick. Let me know in the comments or in chat if my volume was a bit low. It should be higher now, though. Alright. I mean, they can White Orchid. This says destroy up to one target non-basic land its controller may. I'm not really worried one way or another, so we'll pass. Ooh, that might have been the right choice to play the White Orchid so they can't pitch the Solitude. Yeah, maybe. That is a valid thought. They play the White Orchid, it's a moot point, and goes to eat what? Yeah, that's fine. Yes. I still have more force to give, friend. At this point, I'm just going to have nothing but gas in my deck. Marsh Flats. You definitely don't want to fetch anytime soon. Though ironically, we could on end step force them to. So if we force them to and say, you fetch now. We know you can't play the cards in your hand. Mars Flats fetch. It should be Thoughtseize, Ashiok, and one other card. Was it Fatal Push? I don't think so, but now I forget. Shadow Backstreet Surveil. Keeps it on top. And draw. Devourer. So let's start with Devourer. Devourer will eat the Flicker Wisp. And Ponce scoops it up. Okay. This deck might be a little bit obnoxious. We basically played our entire deck's worth of lands. They were playing White Orchid Phantom to interact with us, and we said, no. You don't get to have lands. It's not an option. You'll go down to your basics, and then we're going to Myco Spawn, we're going to World Breaker them. You can't play your black spells. Okay. This is interesting. This is very interesting. We'll be back for match 3. Alright, we're back for match number 3 on the draw for game 1. We're looking for either Lab or Utopia Sprawl for Field of Ruin, which should be good because it looks like the mirror match. Draw. We do whiff there, so we're still looking for... I guess we should actually play Field of Ruin. Yeah, I should have played the Field of Ruin in case we draw into the Lab. Yeah, that was a misplay. Let's see what you got, friend. And again, with my luck, we'd have to go in... Okay, double Lab. Draw, so TKS... Not TKS, K command most likely. So in that case, I suppose we'll play another Forest and then pass. Yeah, unfortunately, just not hitting the cards we want. So K command X2 is what I'm imagining here. And then probably kicked Myco Spawn on 3. Yeah, if we hit either Lab or Utopia Sprawl, this game would have been a bit different, but not the case. So this is Eldrazi Ramp. I guess it could be, you know, it could be Eldrazi Ramp. It also could be Broodscale. There is a non-zero chance. Wood Foothills, no, that's Eldrazi Ramp. Alright, Breeding Pool Shock. Looks like the Teamer version. Might be my version, actually. 3, Rumble. Okay. With Grab Temple. Yep, choose Temple. We'll get rid of a Ugins Lab because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, a bit too close for comfort. There's the Devourer. Better to do this now than later. Field of Ruin. They should only be playing 3 basics. And pass. And pass. So play the E Temple. 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. They're one short of the Emrakul. And we can Field of Ruin again next turn. We really need to draw into our soul lands. Utopia Sprawl. Alright. Temple. 3 in hand. I would love for you to tap this lab. Thank you. And what is it? 4. Null Drifter. Null Drifter is a bit of a problem, admittedly. Not the end of the world, just annoying. Ice Till is good, but not good enough right now, I think. Because we can play Ice Till, then we can play Field, but then we don't have anything to go with, so I think we just go Field of Ruin, and then Field of Ruin the lab. That way they don't have Emrakul. We are forced to sack a land to drift, but that is okay, I think. 5 in hand. 2 out of 3 Emrakul's down. Take 4, down to 16, sacrifice a forest. Yep. Alright. Land. Wooded Foothills, fetch 16. They should have 1 basic left in deck. Surveil. Utopia Sprawl to Yard. The good news about sacrificing lands is that I still can recur those very easily. You just do need to deal with the Null Drifter at some point. Because we can play, I don't know, Sanctum, Field of Ruin after Ice Till. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could cast a 7-mana value spell. Worldbreaker or Mycospawn probably just ends the game, admittedly. Talisman, fine. Tap. 2. Dress Down. Interesting. Eldrazi Dress Down draws a card. They could evoke a Null Drifter. Yeah. Okay, so we're both playing something interesting. Very interesting. Okay, okay. Dress Down. Draw. There's the Ghost Quarter. So, what we can do then? We play the Forest. We play the Ice Till. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it doesn't really matter what I pop, I don't think. Not to mention the Annihilator 2 is a bit rough. Because we'll be forced to sack 2 down to 2 forests, and we still need to somehow deal with these, which is going to be rough. This might just be better for me to play a forest. Mill. Finds an E-Temp. There's a soul land, so we then can maybe do something. Like, the best thing we could somehow do is play this Emrakul. Rumble. Ugin's Binding. Okay, so it's Simic. Interesting. Juicesoy and Mycospawn. I imagine they play a Bajuka Bog. play the Myco Spawn. Yeah, we just didn't see the right cards off top. We had 8 hits and we whiffed across the board on Utopia Sprawl and Lab, and then just whiffed even harder on everything else. So I think that is the game. I don't foresee a way out, so we'll just concede. Yeah, we'll just concede. All right, so that's the Eldrazi Ramp. Loss for game 1. I mean, we don't need Cavernous Souls. Actually, we might. They likely play Consign on the side. You can cut the Gemstone Caverns, though. I guess bring in Dismember. Maybe 2 cutting a Rumble. We could do that. Yeah, let's run it back like this. All right, let's see if we can do what we're trying to do a little bit more efficiently. I guess we could bring in the 3rd by cutting a 7-mana value spell, but I'm not sure I want to in this matchup, honestly. Yeah, we want Bajuka Bog, we want Cavern for what's likely to be Consign. We want Ghost Court, we want Sanctum. So not sure about the Shifting Woodlands, to be honest. I think it has its uses where you do mill over that Emrakul and Shifting Woodlands into it. I think that is valuable. Opponent's probably a little bit perplexed, though then again, I am about theirs as well, with Eldrazi Dress Down versus Eldrazi Ramp plus Ice Till. I guess you could really call this just Eldrazi Land Destruction, to be honest. Interesting. Opponent's taking their time on the sideboard. I'm trying to think of what they could have other than the obvious. I guess they could theoretically be playing Harbinger if they're just going Simic. That is a genuine consideration. 4 hits off the top, right? So the only way to play Field on 2 is if we draw into whatchamacallit, Lab. Since we're on the play, I think we mulligan this hand. Mulligan. I will keep this hand. I will pitch the Talisman. I think we have to pitch the Talisman because we're looking for here is either a forest. I guess we're finding forest. That's kind of awkward. Because we find a forest, then we want to go Field of Ruin, Forest, Talisman, Sprawl. If we find a lab, we want to go Lab, Imprint, Field of Ruin, grab a Forest, Utopia Sprawl for 4. The other option's the pitch the K command, but I think we kind of want that so we can ramp into Myco Spawn kicked. I guess we could early roll the dice and pitch a Field of Ruin and open up as many options. I guess we'll do that. It is risky, but let's see if it pays off. Kinda not really. So what we can do, Shifting Woodlands is not a forest is the problem. Yeah, that's awkward. We had 9 plus 4, 13 hits, dig 13 and whiff. We'll grab the Temple then, play the Field of Ruin and pass. Awkward. We'll eventually be able to get to the Field of Ruin for Sprawl, so it's not the end of the world, it is just annoying. And Talisman, yep. Draw, Temple, Talisman, and pass, and pass. Forest 4, and Myco Spawn. Myco Spawn. Do you go for a ramp, or do you go for a Ghost Quarter? Ramp, okay. We'll take out the lab then with the field, most likely. Draw, Emerald. 'Emrakul. 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 grab a forest. They'll grab a forest. Well, Utopia Sprawl for green. And then pass. As long as they don't exile a land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they need a land plus Mycospawn to do so. I guess they could also K command X1 to guarantee the 6th. Yep, and that's what they're going to do. So ramp Scry Draw. And then if they have a Mycospawn, that will put us into a rough position because they'll kick probably the forest. One top, draw. 5. Do you have the kicked Myco? You have 7. Fetch Wooded Foothills. And Breeding Pool Shock 17. Null Drifter is fine, not the end of the world. I'd love to see another Soul Land, of course. Or land. We whiff. So we could go Mycospawn, but I think it's probably going to make more sense to ramp Scry Draw here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They did draw 2. And done. World Breaker is intriguing. The question is whether or not how many forests we want. I'm going to say we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That would allow us for Emrakul in 2, but we'll have a Mycospawn. So I'm thinking we go bottom, top, top, and draw. Play the forest. I could theoretically go Mycospawn Ghost Quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we'd be short of what we need. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. I guess maybe going for the forest instead of the World Breaker may have been right. 2, 4, 5, 6, yeah. In that case, I will hold. Well, I guess no, we have to sacrifice something to the Null Drifter. That's right. So we'll sacrifice a spawn, so even with the forest, you wouldn't have been able to play the Emrakul. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 4 is 4, so we can't go Mycospawn and World Breaker, so we'll just probably just go World Breaker. Exile land that we can block the Null Drifter. I mean, if they drew into a kicked Myco, we're in trouble. Utopia Sprawl is mana neutral, 5 in hand. For blue, I'd imagine. Chooses blue. Yep, makes sense to me. Two, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, they still have enough for the kicked Myco. Rumble, no longer though. They do have the Consign. I imagine they grab the Temple. Yep, choose Temple, plays Temple. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess they still have enough for Myco, actually. 4. Oh, they might have enough for Emrakul. Shoot. Yep. Yeah, that Rumble hit just the right cards. 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna have to sack 2, 4, 6. They'll kick. I don't think I have a way out now. I'll just concede. Yeah, there's no way out based on what I have. All right. They out-ramped me. Unfortunately, I never saw my ice still for the loops. But it is what it is. We'll be back for match 4. All right. And we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. Oh, actually, no. We do have it. Okay, we'll keep. So I'd love to see an Ice Till trigger. Rumble. We'll take the Rumble then. Yeah, take the Rumble. Forest, Sprawl, green, pass, pass. What are we up against? Might be goblins, given the name. Overrun Tomb, Shock, 18, Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's fine. Take my Emrakul. Takes the Devourer. Bold move, Cotton. Rumble. I'm going to grab my Ice Till. Yes, please, and thank you. Ice Till. I am going to play my Temple. And opponent, I hope you're excited for a fun turn 3, because if you don't have more hand disruption, you're in danger. Ragas Theater, Surveil. Keeps it on top. Thoughtseize. Okay, you need to take this Ice Still, otherwise we're going to go Ghost Quarter crazy on you. Ice Still out, or are you going to take the Emrakul? Both are a threat. Right now we're at 4, 6, 8, 9, 11 for Emrakul. But you take the Ice Still, which is smart. Alright, so we have 7 hits off top, Ice Till, Myco Spawn, then K Command as well. I mean, actually we can play pretty much everything in our deck. Draw. Utopia Sprawl, I mean, that is something in our deck. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. Okay, so we'll do this. E-Temp, Sprawl, green, and pass. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 for the Emrakul on 4. Faithless Looting. Is this Reanimator? Jund Reanimator? Maybe? Cosmogoyf? Detective Phoenix? Stomping Ground Shock, 11. Emperor Bones. Emperor Bones can eat a card out of yard. Down to 3. Yeah, it's not enough, unfortunately, for you. Draw. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, here's what we're going to do. Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter our own land. Yes. Forest. Gotta love this line. Opponents never see it coming. Our turn, Comrade. Fatal Push. Persist, Cosmogoyf. Draw, Verdant Cat. Detective's Phoenix. We can put Detective's Phoenix on our own Emrakul, right? Yeah, we can. So we can do a lot here. So we could push Bones. We could persist Goyf. Persisting Goyf. Actually, yeah, persist Goyf. Goyf dies, right? So persist Goyf. Goyf dies immediately on ETB. We then Detective's Phoenix. Yeah, so let's do that. And persist. Well then, Detective's Phoenix. I guess before we do that, let's play the Verdant Catacombs. Verdant Catacombs fetch, down to 10. We'll Surveil, Underground Mort. Surveil, Trigger. Rumble. I mean, you have to spend 1 mana basically to dig. I'll say put into Yard though. And then I'm going to say Detective's Phoenix, Emrakul, and 1, 2, 3. I guess we can just do everything, right? Cancel. So we can go, yeah, Phoenix, Emrakul, and everything. Which I hate when it does that so much with a passion. When it moves things around and I forget what I freaking clicked. Thoughtseize, Faithless Looting, Verdant Catacomb, Persist, Goyf, Verdant Catacomb, Malevolent Rumble. Done. and then trigger, done, trigger, combat, attack, block, and pass. So we left with a Cosmogoyf and a Fatal Push. You need some way to deal with Emrakul. Yep, you do not. Yeah, that'll do it. Jund pile? Not really sure how to classify this one. It's a Jund pile. Players can't cast. I think that doesn't really apply. Carousels can go, but Jukebox stays. We could dump a Malevolent Rumble question mark. We could dump a World Breaker question mark. And bring in Wasescape. Wasescape can get rid of Phoenix. Dismember is probably better then. Let's do that. Run it back. Alright, let's take a look at our opener. 8 soul lands, and this is palatable. So if I find a soul land, then that's okay. Yeah, let's do this. So we can go Devour, or ideally we're looking for a Lab, because a Lab would allow us to go Talisman. We'll keep. Opponent goes down to 6. Down to 5. Reveal Devourer and pass. So Utopia Sprawl, Lab, or Temple. Shock, Thoughtseize. Ragavan. We can dismember that. Trigger. Field of Ruin. Unfortunate. In that case, I'm thinking we might go Shifting Woodland instead. Forest. Hold. And at combat, we'll dismember the Ragavan. Combat, dismember. No treasures for you in case you're landlight. Again, Utopia Sprawl, Lab, Thoughtseize. You should take the Rumble. Probably, yeah. Rumble probably would be your best option here. Takes the Talisman. Interesting. Verdant Catacombs, passing, draw, Field of Ruin. The reason for us to reveal the field right now, so we'll go Shifting Woodland, Malevolent Rumble. There's the Eldrazi Temple. We'll grab the Temple and then pass. Fetch 15, 2 in hand, Surveil. Next turn we can K command and then set up for the Myco spawn. Ragavan to yard and hold. Paying cost, Swamp Cycle. It's like Jund Reanimator. Yeah, it's like Jund Reanimator. Kind of what it seems like. Tomb Shock. Do you have a persist? Emperor Bones. Emperor Bones eats what? The troll? Eats the Myco spawn. That's fine. Draw. Emrakul. Hello, friend. In that case, I'm going to ramp, I'm going to exile. We're going to exile the Emperor Bones. And done. And next turn, we have a kicked Myco. Opponent's in danger. Paying cost for Cosmogoyf, that's fine. Goyf ain't doing much. Utopia Sprawl, for green. That's mana neutral. We'll play the field. We could kick Mycospawn red. Yeah, that seems right. Red. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So in that case, I'm tempted to go either Sanctum or Ghost Quarter. Let's go Sanctum. And set up. I also was tempted to go Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter at that point and just start stripping lands, but not sure it's necessary right now. No attacks. We draw. We have Dismember. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In that case, I'm thinking we just go good old Emrakul. And Sanctum trigger, Emrakul. Opponent, do you want to scoop? Because I would not blame you. We'll go Worldbreaker or Mycospawn. Neither. And opponent says, I'm out. Alright, solid win against Jund Reanimator. We'll be back for match number 5. Alright, we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. I just need a Soul Land, and we're off to the races here with Ice Till. But Mulligan's down to 6. Yeah, I just need either a Temple or a Lab. If you can find Temple or Lab, we're able to go Mycospawn to Ghost Quarter, play the and from there we'll be able to play the Ice Till into Ghost Quarter. So let's see if the deck can do its thing. Lab or Temple? There's the Lab. Perfect. So now we're going to go Forest, Sprawl for green, pass, and pass. One says good luck. Saga. We'll absolutely pop the Saga, thank you. Lab. Imprint. Cast Myco. Always yield. Ghost Quarter time. And let's go to draw. Ghost Quarter. Pass. It's time, friends! Unless they have Grave 8 for this Ghost Quarter, then it should be a good old GG's, I think. What are you playing to? Forest Saga tells me it's probably Titan. That'd be my guess. That would be my guess. Temple. No, it is not. It is Broodscale. Okay. Should they should only be playing, I think, like 3 basics. Ghost Quarter. Trigger, always yield. Ghost Quarter, target Temple. Ghost Quarter. They're running 1 basic. I'm so sorry, opponent. We just Ghost Quarter opponent 3 times in the span of 2 turns. GG's. Opponent draws a card. Landware Waste. Okay. Ancient Stirrings. Hoping they can find something, anything. And next turn we can play it 3 times. I want to point that out. We're going to be able to Ghost Quarter 3 times. Not that they have enough lands. If you want to make everyone at your FNM hate you, play this version. I just want to say that right now. You will not make friends with this version of Eldrazi Ramp. I need to make that explicitly clear. I mean, what do you do? I'm going to strip mine you every turn from now on. Alright? Like, you can't do anything. Field Ruin? Ghost Quarter? Trigger? Another Field Ruin. Ghost Quarter. Landwar Waste. Fails to find. Ghost Quarter. Trigger. Plays Ice Till. Play Shifting Woodland. Triggers. There's an E-Temp. Opponent scoops. I would think so. I would think so. Alright. So yeah, this is Basking Broodscale, the Transmogrant Crown version, I believe. Not to be confused with the Gruul version of Sephiroth. So we do want Dismember, we want Wasescape ideally. We can cut the Cavernous Souls. See, we'd have, I feel like, too many cards that I want now is the problem. We can cut a World Breaker. Actually, we want to cut a World Breaker and Emrakul. We'll cut an Emrakul here. I want to cut 3 more cards, but that's easier said than done. I guess we can cut some number of field. That might actually be correct. Yeah, because we kind of want to keep the Ice Tills so we can try and go for that turn 2 loop again. So let me just cut 3 fields. Yeah, let's do that. And run it back. Because we definitely need Dismember, and the Wasescapes will definitely help. Yeah, I think that's right. All right, let's see if we can go for another turn 2 Ice Till loop. Yeah, because if you can go turn 2 Mycospawn, Ghost Quarter into Ice Till turn 3, then yeah, you are in a very good position. Because it means thereafter, it's 2 Ghost Quarters a turn, and most decks just don't have enough basics. They simply don't. They go, I run between 1 to 3 basics. I lose? Yes. Yes, you do. But we do need to be a bit more interactive here in case with Dismember, Wasescape. And Wasescape is nice as well because due to Sagas, this basically acts as, you know, Strip Mine, a 3-mana Strip Mine. I guess you could view it as a Molten Rain for all intent and purpose. But specifically for Sagas. That's the important part. It only destroys or exiles Sagas. Does not work on everything else. But also does exile Blades. If we need, we can always Utopia Sprawl for blue. Actually, I guess there's no reason not to. It's not like we need red, so yeah. That's also a thought. We do need double green sometimes, though. I mean, actually, you know what? That's a pretty good argument. We should probably change Talisman of Impulse to Talisman of Curiosity now I think about it. Yeah, that's actually really true. All right, we will keep this. Our reveal. And pass. So we're going to do this. Set up for Sprawl. They surveil. I mean, we'll have double green, so it's probably right to Sprawl for blue. Because we'll have double green with Talisman Forest. So yeah, going for blue makes sense to me. That way we can double kick Wasescape. Phone's thinking hard on the Surveil trigger. What you thinking, friend? Also, what do we want? 2, 3, 4, 5, trigger. See, Ice Till would be nice, but I think we go for the Myco. We'll go for the Myco. And imprint, cast, and hold. And hold. We know they only run 1 basic, so going for just a Ghost Quarter or a field is a valid option. Might not be a bad idea to go field with a Mycospawn, because we can go Forest Sprawl, and then Mycospawn, field, and then from there, we still are able to hold up the Dismember. Yeah, that makes sense. Opponent's tinkin' hard. Either that or hardly tinkin'. Unsure. What we thinking, friend? I mean, what's the worst case scenario here? Thoughtseize? If they go for a Glaring Fleshraker, do we dismember it immediately is the question. Temple, looking like a Fleshraker, it's a Might. Well, that's kind of rude, I'm not gonna lie. But are you really going to Might the Talisman? I guess you are. Sure? That does kind of set me back, but it's not the end of the world. So in that case, I still think we go for blue here. Let's just hold. For those just tuning in, this is Eldrazi Ramp, but with Ice Till Explorer. We're trying to loop Ghost Quarters and punish opponents' decks who do not play enough basics. Okay, so we can exile the Saga next turn with Wasescape. That is good. Draw. Rumble. And I kind of wish that we had double green. We have how many hits for green? A decent number. Let's go Rumble first, question mark. Rumble first. My only concern here is the fact that I wouldn't have A, my land drop for turn, B, another mana to hold up for Dismember. Let's send it, go rumbling. We do whiff. So we'll grab another Wasescape. No, we'll grab a Sanctum of Ugin. We'll grab a Sanctum of Ugin. And we'll go Sanctum, hold, Dismember. They shouldn't be able to go Blade just yet. They can, of course, go for a Construct, but that's kind of fine, because they make a Construct on their turn. We can Wasescape bounce. K command X equals 2. K command X equals 2. Ramp Scry draw. Okay. This is... okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 3 short of Emrakul, which is something to consider. Trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you can find another forest, there's a thought to going Mycospawn Kick and the Wasescape. Thoughtseize is rude, but agreeable. Both the Wasescape and the Mycospawn are problems for you, but you take the Dismember, which tells me you might have the combo in hand. Do you have the Broodscale plus Blade, specifically? There's Broodscale. Do you have Blade? There's Blade. All right, at this point, show me your win condition, and we'll talk. So you have the infinite mana, but now you need a win con. Otherwise, I'm going to bounce the Broodscale, exile the Blade. There's a Transmogrant's Crown, so you will go through the motions. You'll eventually equip, draw, rinse, repeat. So now you're just trying to find the card. If this were a challenge, I would force you to play Solitaire, but it's a league, so I'm going to say let's move on to game 3. Because they'll draw infinite cards, and they'll draw everything they need. So we'll cut the Gemstone, and I'll bring another Field of Ruin. Okay. Yeah, as soon as they played the, whatchamacallit, the Thoughtseize, I realized that we were likely going to get comboed out. Unfortunate. Feels like in that case, even the Wasescape wouldn't have saved me. Actually, maybe it would have. They would have not had enough mana, I think. Oof. Unfortunate. Less than ideal. Two fields, one ghost quarter, Bajuka Box still relevant. Though I'm not sure if they play Emrakul actually, now I think about it. I genuinely don't know. I'm not sure if I've seen Emrakul in this list, but the list is a bit unorthodox to begin with. Let me take a look. I'll say this came in 8th place. Plays 2 Emrakul still. Okay, so still relevant. What we thinking, opponent? They might just be taking a quick break before we jump into 3. If we win this, we'll end up being 4-1 at the end of 5. We're only lost to Simic Eldrazi Ramp, funny enough. On the play for game 3, I will keep. We do need to draw into Mycospawn, K-Command, or Ice Till. But if we find any of those, we're in a pretty good position. Wayscape would also be decent, though not the best. We'll go Utopia Sprawl, double green. Yeah, I wish I had gone double green earlier with Utopia Sprawl, admittedly. But I also... No, that was after they played Might. Give and take. Emrakul. In that case, I'm going to tuck the Emrakul and hold. Fetch, Surveil. We're going to hold the Dismember. Again, K-Command. They put a land to yard, meaning they have lands in hand, or enough that they feel comfortable. Obviously, at least one. There's no way they would put a land to yard with one land only. That would be a bit silly. Yeah, K-Command, Mycospawn, Ice Till. I think K-Command would probably be... K-Command and Mycospawn would probably be the best 2 draws. Malevolent Rumble would also be good. Sprawl. Alright, well, Sprawl for blue. So now we have enough for World Breaker next turn. Unearth. Unearth. Interesting. Unearth. Huh. See, that makes me think it might be the Sephiroth version with the Transmogre Crowns here, so I don't know. That is a weird one. Wooded Foothills. At the very least, next turn we can get rid of the starting town, which means they won't have colorless. That does mean that we're off Dismember. So might need to play it on this turn, we'll see. Overgrown Tomb Shock. Nature's Claim, that's rude. Yeah, so now I can't play the World Breaker unless I draw into a temple. Nihil Spellbomb, fine. So you can draw a card. Draw. Ugin's Lab. We'll play the Sanctum then. Though I guess actually the tucking the World Breaker does insulate it from a Thoughtseize. Yes, let's do that then. We'll tuck the World Breaker. Insulate it from a Thoughtseize. On end step, we'll bring it back. This feels way too slow. I've just been drawn into bricks, unfortunately. They draw a card, 6 in hand. Because once we can go for Sanctum, we play the World Breaker, crack Sanctum, go for Myco. That way we can destroy back-to-back lands. Paying cost for Flesh Rake. And I'm going to deal Flesh Rake now. Put a pause on end step, return World Breaker to hand, draw, K-Command. Alright. And we are going to go for the World Break. World Break, starting town. That way they don't have colorless. Sanctum, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go Sowing Mycospawn. We'll then pass and pass. 2 types in yard. Without any colorless, it's going to become more difficult for them. Saga, we'll be able to kick the Saga. Broodscale. Blade. Bold move, Cotton. So in that case, we can't Mycospawn and K-Command. Let's see how we want to proceed. I'm thinking Ramp Exile or Scrydraw Exile. I'm going to say Ramp Exile, but I think we want to hold. One other option here is this. We're going to play a Mycospawn non-kicked. I'm going to grab an Eldrazi Temple. Yes. I'm going to go to combat, swing. Down to 11. Saga. Two, three, four, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're gonna exile Scrydraw then. Yeah, them already having a blade means destroying the Saga doesn't really do as much. Unless we find ourselves a Wayscape. Adapt. That resolves. We'll make a spawn. Attempt to equip. In response, we'll Scrydraw exile. And done. Broodscale down. There's Field of Ruin, there's Devourer. Devourer to yard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not sure if Field of Ruin does enough. I'm going to say no, I'm going to draw fresh. Utopia Sprawl also doesn't do enough, admittedly. Alright, we'll pass and draw. Oof. Alright, well, we can't do too much here. We'll go to combat. Swing for 8. If they have another Broodscale, they might just win, unfortunately. Alrighty. It's possible that maybe holding the mana for K-Command would have been better than playing the Mycospawn. Though it was only a -2, so you'd have dug 2 deeper. I will need to feign that we have something. 2, 4, actually 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'd be short if I actually played the Devourer. I eat my own Utopia Sprawl too, which is a bit of a downside. But having more bodies on board would be good because we are presenting lethal on board. So in that case, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Play the forest, play the sprawl, go for blue. At this point, we'll pass, and we just need to hope that we don't lose on the spot. Pass in full. If we draw into a land, we have the Emrakul. They have 6 cards in hand. They've used 1 Broodscale. They have 3 more Broodscales left in deck. They have 1 blade on board. They would need to Broodscale equip and then sack. Maybe it would have been worth it for me to actually exile the Broodscale when they went to adapt instead of equip, because then they wouldn't have the spawn. Yeah, I suppose. Because now they can just play Broodscale equip and win. Whereas otherwise, they would be able to Broodscale equip but not adapt. So they would need specifically Ballista in order to trigger. That or an additional land, which, I mean, I imagine they play Springleaf. So if they have land Springleaf Broodscale, even without the spawn, they would still win. But in retrospect, maybe exiling on the adapt would have been correct. Potentially. There's a might. I mean, if they're playing might, then maybe they're worried about Emrakul. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I suppose. Or just trying to extend the game. They'll need to block both. I guess they would be able to sack might. Yeah. Be able to sack might prior to combat damage. So, But then that leaves them vulnerable. Temple. 1. Okay, so Temple would have been enough. So even if we had gotten rid of it before they adapted, they'd still have enough here because it's 5, yeah. Do you have the Broodscale or not is the question. Blade triggers. Is K command X3? K command X3. And this still allows you to Broodscale, equip, sack, but then you still need a payout. You no longer can win off a second blade. At this point then, yeah, if we had exile the Broodscale before the adapt, then they would have only been able to x equals 1, or x equals 2? 2. Instead of 3, so they'd be able to cast equip but not adapt. So in that case, yeah, we should have probably done so one way or another. They're thinking hard here. They at the very least have blockers, and probably a good reason to sack the Haywire Might now to get rid of Utopia Sprawl for the Emrakul. Because then they can block with 2 tokens. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'd need a soul land, and we have 5 of them. 5 soul lands gets us to Emrakul. Malevolent Rumble is mana neutral, plus the additional types in Yard. So a Rumble would be good, or a soul land would be good. Because, yeah, Malevolent Rumble would be the 4th type in Yard, plus the spawn. So we then would just need to add 2 more types to the Yard for the Emrakul, which shouldn't be too difficult. Opponent is thinking hard here, though. One top, 2 bottom draw. And end step, I will return Emrakul to hand. We'll pay cost. Okay, friends, we're gonna learn an important lesson about Ugin's Labyrinth. Ugin's Labyrinth reads, for its second ability, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. Once its ability is on the stack, it does not care where Ugin's Labyrinth is. Whether Ugin's Labyrinth on the board or not is irrelevant to the fact that this trigger is, or the activated ability is now on the stack, which means even after destruction, the exiled card will return to hand. Our opponent is going to also learn this very important lesson. So I will say yes, we'll grab a forest. Returns the Emrakul to hand, and now it's our turn. Sprawl. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Unfortunately, we're still short because we drew the Sprawl and not a land. So a little bit unfortunate about that, but it is what it is. So we'll attack at this point. And block. Okay, you need to block the spawn. If you don't block the spawn... Okay. Another really important thing here that we're going to do a quick lesson on. Combat damage happens before a triggered ability. Lifelink is combat damage, so that is different than what it used to be fair, but different than Haywire Might, which has a death trigger. That triggered ability, yep, opponent just said oops and realized the error. Yep, that's going to be 3 damage and lethal. 2 very important lessons right there. Ugin's Lab does not care about where it is once the active ability is on the stack, and Haywire Might has a death trigger or triggered ability which gains you life. It does not equate to life link, and as a result, you will lose the game if that is lethal damage. Important things to remember. But I will take it regardless. All right. Well, that was a 4-1 win at the end of 5. A bit unfortunate that we didn't draw into this forest a little bit earlier. Yeah, I am thinking maybe it was right for me, instead of playing the Myco Spawn for the temple, to hold up the K command, maybe just hold the K command and then exile Scry Draw a bit deeper. Not to mention exiling the Broodscale before it adapted. But retrospect is 2020, but I do think those were probably the better lines. Regardless though, 4-1 at the end of 5. I mean, the deck performed as E-Ramp, as it normally does, but also performed as a really interesting land destruction deck that can go off as early as turn 3. So I am very intrigued with this build now. I'll be honest, I really sold Icetill Explorer a bit short early on, but now it is piquing my curiosity. I will note, though, that I'm not sure if the Field of Ruin version is better than just like standard E-Ramp plus Icetill. I don't know which one's better. I will say the Field of Ruin version definitely has a lot going for it, because you can go as early as a turn 2 Field of Ruin and start stripping lands right away. It acts as your fetches, quote unquote, as, you know, forest number 10 through 13, which is kind of interesting. Or 10 through 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah. 10 through 14. So it is interesting. The one downside of the mono green version, of course, is that you don't have access to K return, which means you're pretty reliant on your opponent just not being able to play cards, or that if they are able to play cards, you're just able to outvalue them in the long game. So I do wonder if like a more traditional mana base is better. It is possible that is the case. So some testing will need to be done, but I am now intrigued by Icetill Explorer. I think we have some tuning to do, because I know that in my initial testing, I went 3-2 at the end of 5, and then 4-1 at the end of 5 with Icetill. I know Oveneyes also tested Icetill in a more traditional mana base and went 4-1 as well. So I think Icetill might have some legs, which kind of sucks for me because it means I need to buy more cards between Icetill, Tezzeret, so that way I can be ready for RC Vegas. Interesting times. But that there will be the end of today's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It'd be much appreciated. For as much that I hope you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button so we can continue growing this channel. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support monetarily and gain early access to these YouTube videos, you can subscribe to my Patreon, where you can, well, get early access to my YouTube videos. On top of which, if you haven't already, please do consider heading over to my Twitch channel, where you can see me record these videos live at 10 p.m. CST, Monday through Thursday, and 8 p.m. CST, Fridays through Sundays, unless there are premiere events earlier in the day. But you can catch the schedule over on my Discord, and also get notified when I go live. With that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!